Moz. Today we have something special. As you would see in the description, it's a HGA Grading return. This will be our final HGA Grading return. We have no more submissions in at HGA, so needless to say, I'm excited about what we're going to find in here. And yeah, I don't want to wait any longer. It was delivered to me not too long ago, and I just want to get into it. So fire up the video, fire up the computer, and let's get cracking in to see what we have here. Now, for anybody who has purchasing spots in breaks, those breaks are still planned to go ahead. Obviously they will go ahead once the breaks are sold out. There's only 4 spots left in the Mosaic multi-pack box break. That's $40 a spot, 3 teams per spot in a tiered team layout. So all that information is available on our website, guys. So anybody interested in jumping in that break, we also have Optic Fast Break and Optic Hobby break positions available. So breaks are kind of slowed down a little bit. We don't know if we're going to sort of continue focusing on that in the future. That's something we'll have to make decisions on in the near future. But in the meantime, the breaks that are available on our website are still planned to go ahead. Obviously, I'm not going to rip a hobby box. I'm just not that wealthy. So the idea is to share that amongst everybody, and we all have a bit of a crack at some hobby luck. So yeah, we've got a fair few cards in this one. £4 shipping. Shipping was reasonable price. Return speed is excellent from HGA. These have been in grading. I think we entered these in for submission maybe last September. So late August, early September was the submission. So it's been a while. They've been away for a while. It's been a long wait. And yeah, I can't remember everything that's in here. I know a fair bit of what's in here. I know that this is our first submission where one of you people out there actually put something in to be graded. So I'm sure once he gets them, he'll do his own video on those. I'm bloody real sorry, Moz. I'm trying to think of your channel name. I'll do a shout out at the end on your channel name, Moz. So we don't miss out on giving a shout out to you guys and your guys' excellent program on YouTube. So I don't know where we're starting with this. I don't know how we're going to do this without actually giving away each card beforehand, because I have nothing else to cover it up with. So I guess I'm going to start with whatever we have here. And I should have put my phone on silent. And it looks like we have horizontal slabbed Lebron James tricolour. You didn't have to wait too long, Moz. It's the first one off the top of the bat. And wacko, look at that. A 9. A 9.0 LeBron James tricolour. So I am ecstatic about that for you, Moz. And like I said, I should have put my phone on silent, because as soon as I start, of course, that's when all the messages start coming in. So Moz, a 9.0, you got a 9.5 on the corners. You got a surface of 9.5. Just how typical. Right, fixed, sorted. But a horizontal slab, Moz. 9.5 on corners, 9.5 on the surface, a 9 on the edges, and a 9 on the centering there, buddy. Mate, you have got to be stoked with that. I am stoked with that for you. So congratulations, Moz. That is card number 1, and what a card. what a card. I'll tell you what, Moz, you're not going to be disappointed with this HGA slab horizontal. That is something to behold, I tell you. Okay, so second cab off the rank. It is a Jordan Noira 9.5. So Jordan Noira Prism Silver has come back as a 9.5. 9 on the corners, 9 on the surface, 10 on the edges, and 9.5 on the centering. So all around not too bad. I'm really surprised that we actually got a 10 there on the corners, given how unlucky we have been with all the corners. And that's got more to do with Panini's quality control than anything else. But a Jordan Noira Silver Prism 9.5 I will take. Let's have a look what we got next. I'm hoping they've done my... Well, there we go, Morz. Oh, there's your second card, Morz. 9.5 Ant-Man Silver Prism. And I bet you're jumping around your lounge room right now. Corners 9.5, surface 9.5, edges 9.5, and you've only missed out on the centering at a 9. But I think, you know, that's more top to bottom related than anything else, rather than left to right, because left to right is pretty good there, Moz. But all around, that's a beautiful card. So Moz, you can just turn the video off, and then if I forget to do a shout out for you, mate, at the end, you won't even know. Just pretend like I did. How bad am I? I was so excited to open the box, I didn't even look it up beforehand. That's my dumb ass. Sorry, Moz. I will put it up. Ant-Man 9.5. Now we've got a bunch of these Donruss and probably some hoops, just base, mainly Ant-Man and LaMelo. So edges 10 again, beautiful. Corners 9.5, surface 9, and centering 9. So I thought the centering would have done better on that, but I will take a 9.5 regardless. So we'll run through some of these, because some of these are just going to be base cards that were shipped off mainly to get sort of different slips and different prints, and just to really test out and have a look at the HGA, you know, how it went with HGA, you know, timing, postage, overall cost, the slab quality. I mean, that was the main reason why we sent a bunch of these things off to HGA. All in all, happy with the slabs. You know, the labels are very good. I like the labeling. All in all, I'm pretty happy with HGA. I'm just disappointed it's so bloody hard to get a 10. But this one's got 9.5 on the corners, 9 on the surface, 9.5 on the edges, and 9.5 on the centering. So all in all, pretty good there. So far, if we can keep getting 9.5s, I'll be happy until we get to the ones that I want 10s on. Which is every other one. Okay, Emmanuel Quigley Silver Prism Rookie Auto, or Rookie Ink. 9.5 on the corners, a 9.5 on the surface, a 10 on the edges, and an 8.5 on the centering. I think we always knew, sending this away, that the centering was probably going to be the biggest issue with this card, and we were right. All in all, you got a, you know, 9.5 for an Emmanuel Quigley Silver Prism Rookie Auto. I'm going to be pretty happy with that every other day of the week too. So I will take that, especially given it got 8.5 on the centering. I'm not sure how many more to go, guys. This is one of the biggest orders we actually sent away to them. So there we go. Ant-Man Donruss again. This one got a 9. So a 9.5 on the corners, 9.5 on the edges, a surface of 9, and a centering of 9. So are they comparable? You know, I guess not according to HGA. I guess according to HGA there's a difference, and looks like the difference is in the edges. So the edges on this one are just a little bit not as clean as the edges on this one. But you know, I'll take a 9 and a 9.5. I'm happy with that. Maybe we can throw one of them into a break coming up as a giveaway. That'd be interesting, because not attached to it at all. And we've got a James Wiseman 9.5. So 10 on the edges, 9.5 on the corners, a 9 on the surface, and a 9 on the centering. Again, guys, don't be pissed that we've sent all base cards. We did send a lot of base cards, mainly to, you know, mainly to assess the quality. You got to think, we sent these over about a 3-month period, all pretty close together. I think we'd sent the last order before we had the first order back. So it was just mainly to see how we perceived the overall HGA experience over the whole lot of entrants that we put in. So 8.5 on the corners, which is pretty bad. 9.5 on the surface, edges 9, and a 9 on the centering, and we get a 9 overall. Again, I'm not going to be disappointed with that. I'll be, you know, it's a James Wiseman hoops, so you know, I'm not praying for a 10 on those. Okay, what have we got here? Okay, LaMelo Ball, Donruss base, 10 on the edges, 9 on the centering, 9.5 on the surface, and 9.5 on the corners. So again, a good result there. For even though it's a base card, it is a very good result. So I'm pretty happy with that. And obviously, every time you pulled a LaMelo in for those years, you were pretty excited to have a LaMelo anything. So you know, send a few off for grading, see how they go. Ant-Man hoops base has got 9 on the corners, 9 on the surface, 9.5 on the edges, and 9.5 on the centering. So again, all in all, pretty happy. Yeah, it'll, you know, the other thing is for resale, I mean, no one can contest the condition of the card. That's probably not, you know, it's probably the best idea if you actually want to sell some cards to have them graded, especially, you know, better quality cards. Cards that you expect to get more money for should be graded prior to selling, in my opinion. And then you're going to get the maximum amount of money out of your investment for your cards. So definitely worth sending off for grading. This one here, I am absolutely stoked with. I can't believe we got a 9.5 on that. Oh, I can't believe it because it was a mint card, but to actually get it back as a 9.5, I'm stoked. I was a little bit concerned about the centering, and the centering is what cost us here. We got 9 on the centering, we got 10 on the edges, 9.5 on the corners, and 9.5 on the surface. But obviously pulling an Anthony Edwards purple was pretty exciting, given the hype around Anthony Edwards. We've still got a bunch more here. What have we got on top here? We've got another LaMelo Ball Donruss. Wow, 9.5. We got 10 on the corners, 10 on the edges, 9.5 on the centering, and somehow the surface has come back as a 9. So you know, I mean, we didn't have a lot of them to go through to pick from, but we did pick the best ones to send away for grading, and it's a little bit disappointing. I'm happy to get a 9.5, don't get me wrong. I'm really happy to get a 9.5. Obviously we know how impossible 10s are to get, but to cost us on the surface there is a little bit hard to swallow, given the condition of the cards when they were sent, and you're getting 10 on the corners and a 10 on the edges, and you get a 9 on the surface. It just makes you wonder what they're looking at there. So next one's hoops, LaMelo base, 9 corners, 9.5 on the edges, 9.5 on the surface, and a 9 on the centering. So again, I'm happy with a 9. I cannot be disappointed with a 9. I've got my bigger cards still to come, so fingers crossed we get some 10s in the bottom of the box. That would be nice. Okay, we've got an Anthony Edwards, a red, white and blue with a 9.5. Someone I know is going to be very happy with that. So 9.5 on the corners, a 9.5 on the surface, a 10 on the edges and a 9 on the centering. We always kind of knew centering would be a bit of an issue, but that is pretty good to come back as a 9.5. Maybe we can trade you, Moz. I know you're laughing. Alrighty. I think we got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 more to go by the feel of it. Don't know what we've got next. James Wiseman, a Donruss base, has got a 9.5, a 10 on the corners, 10 on the edges, 9.5 on the centering, and a 9 on the surface. Again, the surface has been the issue. Maybe I should crack one of these open. I'll tell you what, we'll do it at the end. We'll rip the plastic off that one and we'll have a look and see if we can see any issues on the surface with that one, because that's the second one of them we've had now. So third to last, this was my have card out of Prism, and I wish they had to put it on a horizontal slab for me, but they did not put it on a horizontal slab for me. But my LeBron James silver Prism, and that got a 9 on the corners, a 9 on the edges, 9.5 on the surface, and 9.5 on the centering. Now, my biggest concerns with this, sending this away, was the surface and the centering, not the corners and not the edges, but the edges and the corners are what's dragged it down, as opposed to my concerns about the centering and the surface, because I kind of felt like it had a tiny little nick somewhere in the card. I can't remember exactly where. It was really microscopic, very hard to see with the naked eye, kind of nick in the card, and I was concerned about the surface for that. But you know, all in all, a 9 for a silver LeBron. I will take that away. It's disappointing not to get a 9.5, I will admit. Disappointing not to have a horizontal slab like someone else managed to get, but yeah, that's okay. I will take it. Next one is something that I couldn't believe I actually pulled. So LeBron James Red Wave, I was very happy to have that. We got custom label on this one, and we got a 9.5 on the corners, a 10 on the edges, a 9.5 on the surface, and for some crazy reason, and I understand, you know, top to bottom and this is not perfect, but we got an 8 on centering. I did not think, you know, I know left to right was kind of out, not by much, and I understand top to bottom is a little bit off in the centering, but for that to get an 8, I'm not sure exactly how they grade that, an 8, but I'll take it. We got a 9 on a LeBron James Red Wave. Again, nice card to have. That's the one I wanted. That was an extra bonus, and I'm happy to have both, as anybody would be. Our last, and certainly not the least, is a card that you'll remember me pulling from my Prism retail box preview video. I think it was in the second pack. No, it's not. It's just the LaMelo Ball base. I thought it was LaMelo Ball silver. Anyway, LaMelo Ball base Prism. I did have to have one of these graded, and it's got 9.5 all round, guys. So It's a gem mint 9.5. I will take that. That's a pretty good. It's pretty good to get 9.5 centering and out of Prism anything. So I will take that. Very happy with that. Very happy overall. HGA has been good. You know, it has taken a long time to sort of get our submissions back. I guess it is kind of to be expected. They are busy. I understand that. But it's kind of their fault that they're busy. They did start taking in way more cards than they were in the original, you know, when they originally were doing allocations. So it's kind of was always gonna bog them down. It is disappointing to put these in September and not have them back until, what are we in? We're at the end of March. So if we put, I'm pretty sure we submitted these in late August. So, you know, a 6 month plus turnaround time is really not good. But in saying that, the slabs are excellent quality, very rigid. The condition, you know, is very special. I mean, these look amazing. I can't see anything on my surface that they're talking about, but they graded it a 9, and you know, it is what it is. All in all, guys, would I recommend HGA? I certainly would. I still would. I do like HGA. It's possible that the slabs might have changed a little bit from our original slab. And there is kind of issues with labels falling out of their slab. For example, that lamello, as you can see, the labels on all the way over there, and we can tap it back into position, which is kind of disappointing that the slab, not all the slabs hold the label in place properly. That's probably the biggest downside to HGA, but for cost and, you know, product receiving and shipping and all that is pretty good. You really, if you're prepared to wait the time, and you don't expect to get 10s for your card, because basically HGA 10s do not exist. I know they do, figuratively speaking, but they do not. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Okay, I'm really embarrassed, Moz. I apologise. BNA, Break Nation Australia, I believe it's called. So if you want to watch some videos, I'm sure Moz will go more into depth with his HGA cards once he gets them on his channel, BNA, on YouTube. So if you guys are interested in cards and you're in Australia and you want to, you know, see more guys talk about cards in Australia, definitely check them out. I'm really happy overall, guys. I know there's a lot of kind of base cards here. There was also a few nice cards sprinkled in amongst the mixed, and I'm really happy to have them. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out our breaks, please, guys. We just want to fill them and run them as soon as possible. So if you're watching the video, jump online, check out our products. We've also got Mosaic NFL coming. We've got Chronicles NBA. We have Mosaic NBA. We've got a whole lot of stuff up at ridiculously cheap prices. So check them out. If you haven't bought something in a while and you just want to have a rip, definitely get online and check out our prices. Even if you're just comparing them somewhere else, that's okay too. I don't mind that either. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay safe, and we'll catch you all again soon, hopefully on a break this weekend. It'd be good. See you later, guys. That's 8 Ball Collectibles out.